There's a hurricane coming right now.
There's a leak in the top of the roof too.
There's a leak in the top of the roof too. Hello and welcome back. I'm Amber. Julieta is my girlfriend and we have an adorable dog. We're Honey I Roam. We're living in this truck camper and we're renovating the inside and everything's perfect, right? Oh my God.
I did not think that we'd have to be dealing with a hurricane, let alone the fact that our camper is leaking right now. Look at this mayhem right here.
Our renovations are not going the way that we hoped that they were. In our last video, you saw that we were priming and preparing our cabinets to be painted, which is the fun part. But then something not fun came up, and that's what we're dealing with now. In preparation for sealing the roof of the camper, we were both standing up there, and I think that we must have distributed our weight poorly, or maybe it's just an old camper. That's definitely true. But we thought everything was fine, right? Until we go in the camper and we see that there's a slow leak. There's a drip, drip, drip onto the floor. That's the very last thing that we want to see. We don't know how big this can of worms is gonna be. As a lot of you know, we're in Florida at the moment, and Florida weather is wishy-washy. The unknown is the scariest part. You know, when you don't know, is the whole roof rotted? Are we over-exaggerating? Oh my gosh, what is it?
I'm just over here scraping away through this hole. So what we're doing here is I'm cleaning and prepping all of this area, and you can see there's a rip right here in the aluminum. There's a rip right here and a rip over here. So it looks like it was nailed down at one point. I think I'm gonna do that. But a big issue that we're having right now is that we want this to dry out. So there's been some water intrusion on top of this. It's like a piece of cardboard kind of in between the aluminum and then the wood roof. And I want that to dry out as much as possible. The biggest problem is that we have a tropical storm coming to Florida right now. We're out here, we're really just trying to make this roof a better place overall because it was really dirty. Obviously there was some tears in the aluminum membrane on the top. So I got this to replace the existing vent cover that's there because that one is just, you can't clean it, it's done. Yeah.
Way better, right?
Mm-hmm. There we go. Nice. I gotta say I'm really happy with the way that this area is drying up. So I think we caught it just in time. The roof isn't messed up. I know that's a lot of people's big concern whenever, you know, there's water damage to the roof. All of the stuff that I actually bought to fix the hole won't be in the mail until tomorrow, so we're gonna have to wait to do that job. I just feel like we're on a really good path to be able to get this fixed because I gotta tell you, it was really stressing me out.
We find ourselves starting from scratch, brick by brick.
Another day, another project, and apparently another hurricane warning. There's a hurricane watch in effect for this whole area that we're at right now. There's gonna be heavy rains. Of course, there's gonna be intense wind, and yeah, I'm a little bit worried. Do you think that I Googled, will my truck camper blow over in heavy winds? Of course I did, and I consulted my Facebook group, so I do learn a lot from those Facebook groups. According to all of my other fellow truck camper owners on there, they did say that you're good if you're low to the ground. I put the AC back in place and I put plastic sheeting over it. We put a tarp up there, but then I went to the store and I got an even bigger tarp so we can make sure the whole surface area is protected. Look who it is!
Good morning!
You got coffee?
I got lemon water.
Oh, she's got her classic lemon water.
Good morning, cheers. Oh boy! storm a brewing. Me too. What do you want to do first?
We're gonna paint a little bit.
What about the, oh, we're waiting on the part.
Yeah, we don't have the parts for the roof yet, so that might have to wait. So we do have everything just disconnected and kind of dangling down. But
it's feeling dry, right?
this area is completely dried out, so it was mostly water coming in from this corner area. That's where the big crack was at, and that's where a lot of water was just pooling and sitting there. But once we took it up, it just totally dried up with the wind, with the really, really hot weather yesterday that we had.
I'm so ready to paint.
She's ready to paint. If she's ready to paint, we gotta get to it, because I might lose that steam. Oh, I am getting older though, because my body is rocked from yesterday, just like bending over and picking up that air conditioner. Those air conditioners are about 80 pounds, and I was kind of like bent over the whole time, so my hamstrings are just totally tight and they hurt really bad. It's just a part of it, I guess. I should have stretched before I started doing all that work, but stretched a good amount last night and this morning, so I'm feeling a lot better, but definitely rocks your body when you do work like that on a roof.
I have nails right now, so it takes a little time to put these on. This isn't the most seamless shot I could dream up, is it?
What are you doing?
You got me nervous. Gosh.
She's struggling, you guys.
Let me put these on and then we'll talk.
She's doing it. Yay!
Julietta is priming the corner that no one wanted to prime.
When we were priming the other day, we were like, we're doing every area that we need to do, but we didn't do this area, and it's for good reason, because I cannot sit up, so it's very uncomfortable. But
plus it was so hot the other day that we didn't want to be all sticky in the bed.
yeah, that's true. And I want to do it when we're not super burnt out, because, you know, paint can drip onto the bed, onto the carpet area, so
we need to be patient.
Yeah. I mean, we're not aiming for perfect here, but we just don't want like specks of paint everywhere either.
So glad we went with high quality paint.
Does it look good?
Yeah.
Right now, Amber is painting on the color that you picked. Thank you so much for voting and your input on what color we should do. We were stuck between two colors. It was a green color, it was a blue color, and the winning color looks absolutely beautiful. We are so happy with your choice.
Venus Teal. This color is absolutely stunning. I already got started on painting some of the doors here to make sure it's as beautiful as we hoped. Lo and behold, even more beautiful than we hoped. Thank you to every single person who voted on this color. We're actually going to show you right now the piece of paper that we have all the tally marks on to prove that Venus Teal really is the winner. Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, it's actually really nice and bright too. I'm so surprised at how bright it is, really. We're still deciding. We're gonna definitely do this area, like the kitchen area, in the Venus Teal, but we did want to pick some other colors too, like maybe one other color, because it is kind of a lot of blue, so we wanted to do something maybe a little more neutral. We're not quite sure. We're playing around with it.
It's so pretty! This is so satisfying. I am obsessed with this color. I am loving how it's looking in this camper. It's gonna look so fresh and beautiful.
After consulting my Facebook groups, many of them also suggested to fill up your water tank. It should be an 18-gallon water tank, and I think that comes out to about, I don't know, it comes out to some weight.
The winds are expected at 75 miles an hour gusts. And we drive down the highway in that speed, so I'm thinking it shouldn't be a problem, right? That's good logic.
Yeah, the only difference is it's usually strapped to the truck. So it won't move, but it's different whenever the wind is coming from the side of it. It could make it topple over.
We're gonna park the truck on the side. We read that that is a good solution, so hopefully the truck takes the brunt of the wind.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay. And honestly, if the wind starts to come from the other side, I was thinking that if the camper starts to lean, it would lean on the truck. But my mind starts to just keep going. I just think and think and think. I'm hit with a problem. I get kind of obsessive, and it just doesn't really stop in my mind. So when the AC was leaking, it's all I could think about. Amber knows that's how I am, and she's really sweet about it, so she always checks in with me as like, are you okay? Is that all you're thinking about? What are you thinking about? You're really good about like making me kind of sane during these times.
I appreciate all of the thought and research that you put into things. So of course I'm never upset or irritated. I just don't want you to be obsessed. And yes, I will wake up at 7 a.m. to do these projects with you in the morning because I know that's what you're thinking about as soon as you wake up.
This is a little pressure valve in there, so we're gonna fill this baby up. Amber asked, do you think it's really gonna make a difference? And I'm not quite sure, but it certainly doesn't hurt to try.
We got started on this project as soon as we opened our eyes today, so I haven't had a chance to eat anything yet. Julieta always has her little cereal when she gets up, but now it's time for me to make a smoothie. I'm excited for today's smoothie because I'm going to be using a new ingredient. It's by Purely Inspired and it's beets, so it's like powdered, dried beets. It's going to add a really nice flavor and tons of nutrients to the smoothie. And we're going to add some organic greens, the healthy beets, the organic protein, and the collagen peptides. We're gonna add a little bit of ice, blend her up. We'll be full for a while. I'm just gonna add water. You're welcome to add milk or almond milk, but water does the trick for me. Cheers. This one's really delicious.
We're also going to be filling up jugs for our own self just in case the power goes out and we don't have any water. I'm kind of looking forward to a hurricane, I gotta say. Other than the fact of worrying about the camper, it's really nice to think that we don't even have to leave anywhere. We could just read books, watch TV if there's power, hang out with Winston as much as possible.
That's the only way Julieta will ever relax. Just have a hurricane. 9 cents, y'all.
Look at who it is. Look at those doggies. Yay! There's my boo-boos. Winston just snuck out of the house and he went right into the truck. He wants to go on an adventure, huh? I got this tarp. So this tarp should be able to cover the entirety of the top of the camper. And we're gonna put it up right now. And put the ropes around the front and then all the way to the back and hook them on the ladder and like the other stuff in the back. This is so tough. This is so much tougher than anything I've done, is putting a tarp on top of the camper. Decided against the big tarp. We thought it was more of a hazard than it would do any good anyways, because it was just really hard to manage. When the wind was picking up, it was just flapping. It was so hard to even hold down, honestly. So I think that extra like pull and tug on the camper isn't even good. So
no.
Yeah, I think it was actually just too big.
It was only 15 miles an hour winds whenever we were putting it on, and it was so loud and, I mean,
dangerous,
powerful.
Yeah, it was brutal.
This is the calm before the storm. It's already been raining and everything, but the actual storm hasn't happened yet. And you know, interesting thing about hurricanes, if you haven't been in one, is that you'll think the storm is over because it's calm outside, but that actually means that you're in the eye of the storm, the center of the storm, and that the second half of the weather bands are yet to come. That's supposed to happen tonight. We are hunkering down with the family. My sisters are here too. And we're just gonna have a little hurricane slumber party. I did not think that we'd have to be dealing with a hurricane, let alone the fact that our camper is leaking right now. I've just been in like this worry loop of the camper leaking and the camper also like flying away, because I really don't know how these things work. Yeah, it's been a doozy. It's been quite a week. Hi, we're just coloring. We're coloring gorgeous pictures, learning about our colors. Isn't that right?
Oh, sorry, say blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
Oh, good job.
Yay, can I color too?
Not very much rain yet, so I think the hurricane is gonna hit down in how many hours now?
4 hours and counting.
It's been pretty uneventful so far, just kind of like light rain, some winds here and there. I said a little wind. There is so much wind right now. Let's go out and check it out. Our tarp is just flapping in the wind, but it's staying secure.
It's blowing.
Honey. Say honey.
Honey.
That was weird. He said hi, honeys.
He's a honey. He's a honey boy.
It's the morning now, and the wind is still strong. It was so windy last night. I mean, it's windy right now, but last night the gusts were up to 80 miles an hour. So we kept hearing the wind howl, and we'd look out the window at the camper. Everything's still upright. It was wild. I mean, so we're just checking out how everything was last night. A tree branch definitely fell. Wow. Wind in all her power is definitely still out this morning. The most important thing is that we're all safe and that we have electric. That is definitely something we were hoping to be able to say in the morning. So electric is on, wind is strong, everyone's safe.
There's definitely some drips inside of this truck camper, and it's got me stressing out. I did not sleep good at all. I slept horribly. I was having bad dreams. I kept waking up at every single wind gust, which there was so many. That looming sound when there's a big wind headed your way and it just sounds like it's gonna blow your camper over. Yeah, that was me. There's definitely some drippage going on. We covered it the best we could, and the whole opening, like you can tell, it's just kind of dripping from around the opening because it's not sealed completely right now. But we did have a bucket down, so that collected most of the water. I just cleaned everything up, and we're gonna, as soon as this wind and rain is over, we're gonna open it up and just allow it to dry out. We were really blindsided by this storm coming our way. This whole situation just makes my stomach turn. I'm like so sleep deprived. I've been worrying about different things about this camper. This has been pretty rough. I'm just excited for this to be over because I think it was like, I was worrying about one little thing and now it's like turned into like bigger things. So what I thought was the big thing is now the little thing. Does that make any sense? You know who definitely makes me feel better? Lil Winston. You sleepy, huh? None of us slept very good last night. The hurricane is over and our camper did not fly away. Woo! I'm so happy. I was so full of so much anxiety between the leak and the camper flying away, and it did great. The wind gusts kept me up at night, but they didn't take away our camper. We have quite a bit of cleanup that we have to do. It's been dripping from a couple of different places in here, so we're really excited to get it resolved, and we're just happy that it's not leaking over our bed and over any of the material things or the stove. So, you know, I'm always looking on the bright side. It's leaking in such a great place. This is the moment that I've been waiting for since I heard that there was a hurricane coming this way, is when the sun was gonna be shining. It's back to being a good old hot sunny day here in Florida. We did well with the hurricane. I think we got off pretty good. We're on the other side and I'm really happy about that. I could not wait to be on the other side. So gorgeous. We're digging in. We're on our second coat of this beautiful blue paint that you all chose. We're still extremely happy with it. It's really bright in here. It's livening the place up. It's just gonna make it feel like home for us. It's gonna be honeyfied right after this. It's gorgeous. Freaking out, y'all. Now that the camper is dry enough to be able to do this next step, we are overly excited to be on this part of the journey. Am I right? Yes!
Yes, Julietta said. In all of this extensive research that we've been doing, everyone says that we have to use one specific brand of tape, and it's called Eternabond. This is the one that works the best. You apply the tape, and then there's this actually really heavy tool. This is $50 just for this tool, and it smushes it down. Number one benefit of having a giant hole in the camper is I can hand Julietta things up there.
gosh, it's so sticky. I think that's good. Wow, that stuff is sticky. Okay, now we're going to apply pressure to it. Not only are we going to put down the Eternabond, we're actually going to put the lap sealant Dicor along all of the seams, so even all of the seams will be waterproof completely. I'm on the last strip of Eternabond, okay?
Gorgeous. I can tell that this tape is the real deal. You did a wonderful job cutting it perfectly.
You look like you just are your floating head right here.
Hello.
Hallelujah.
Thank you so much for watching. We're Honey I Roam and we love you. And oop, stepped on something gross. Oop. Julieta is doing, let me make sure this is recording.
Yeah.
We were using all of our
18-gallon water tank, whoops,